In this lecture, we are going to take a look at basic network scanning with Nmap. Nmap is one of the most popular network scanning tools we have. And Nmap can be used to find live hosts on a network, perform port scanning, ping sweeps, OS detection, and service version detection. Uh, Nmap uses IP packets to identify all the devices that are connected to a network and to provide information on the services and operating system they are running. And Nmap is a command line tool, though there is the graphical user interface version called Nmap. And to launch Nmap, all we have to do is write Nmap from the terminal. Now let's put -H to see the help menu of Nmap and see how the various options we can use alongside Nmap. So basically this is Nmap and these are the commands. So options that we can use alongside Nmap to make use of Nmap network scanning tool. Let me clear the terminal. So and then the graphical user interface version. To access the graphical user interface version, all we have to do is come here to we can come to the menu here and then search for Nmap. Nmap. So Nmap. Okay, so this is Nmap. So you click on it and then it will launch the Nmap, which is the graphical user interface version of Nmap. Or we can even launch it from the terminal. All we have to do, we can write the Nmap and then launch it from the terminal, and then it will launch from the terminal. Okay, so Nmap is the graphical user. Okay, so we are trying to run Nmap with a non-root user. Okay, so we need to run sudo Nmap. Okay, so sudo Nmap. Okay, so it's still launch, but it's running under the Faisal user. It is running with a non-user with a non-root privileges. So we might experience some issues while running some of the Nmap command, because some of the Nmap command require root privileges. Okay, so I'll exit this Nmap. After all, they say GUI is for noobs, so we are going to make use of the Nmap, not the Nmap. So clear the terminal. Sorry. All right. So now the most basic use of Nmap is just to enter the command Nmap followed by the target that we want to scan. Now let's know the subnet we are on. I can just write sudo if config and then hit enter. Okay, enter the password. Now I can know the network ID of the network I'm on. I am on the IP address of the Kali is 10.0.2.19. That means I am on network 10.0.2.1/24 in CID arrow notation. So let's scan the network using Nmap. Okay, so let me clear the terminal. The most basic usage of Nmap is just to enter sudo Nmap, then followed by the target. So say I want to scan the whole of the network range, 10.0.2.1 using CRDR notation /24, and then I will just enter sudo Nmap followed by the target. Now I'm going to enter T-pipe. Just this is a lecture to speed up the process. I'm going to enter T-pipe. Now T-pipe, we're going to see T-pipe. T-pipe is the timing option. It is controlling the speed at which the Nmap runs. So we have from T0 to T5, and T5 is the highest option that which Nmap runs. Basically, we don't use T5 in hacking, depending on the type of pen testing we are doing, whether it is white hat, whether it is white box, gray box, or black box pen test. So depending on it. If it is black box, we don't want to be detected, so we can't use the -T5 option. So but in white hat, in white box, rather not white hat, in white box pen test, we can decide to use -T5 because we don't appear being detected. All right, so the -T5 option is the highest speed at which Nmap runs. And if it is if we fear detection, we are not going to make use of it because it can easily be detected, right? So we just hit enter. and we can see that Nmap has picked and it is running and trying to find the hosts that are attached to this network and then scan them and then get information about the host, and then it will display it for us on the terminal. And as we can see, Nmap has finished running and it has displayed information about the target it was able to find that are connected to this network. So we can have information for the gateway 10.0.2.1. We can see the ports that are open. We can see that the port that is open on that particular host that is having the IP address of 10.0.2.1. Port 53 is open in the domain. The service that is running on it is domain and it is open. And we can see the MAC address of the 10.0.2.1. Okay, 53, that is the DNS service. Okay, and then we can see the other ports and the state of the port and the service that's running on the port in this particular other host 10.0.2.2, 135.445.554 and 10, and all the ports are open, and this is most probably a Windows machine. And then next we have the other host, and then most importantly we have the 10.0.2.24, which is the metasploitable machine that I booted on, so that we can scan it and see how Nmap works. So basically this is the metasploitable machine that is attached to this network, IP address of 10.0.2.24, and then these are the ports, and then the states of the port and the services that are running on those ports. So we have port 21, 22, 23, 25, 53, port 80, and these are all the ports that are open on that particular machine. And also we have the attacking machine, the car Linux 10.0.2.19. We can see the it is up with all the ports on that particular Linux machine. The car Linux, all the ports are closed. All right, as I have said earlier, the T5 option is the timing option, and there are 6 levels of timing option from T0 to T5, and they are level. We have the T0. The T0 is the paranoid, and then we have the T1, also called the sneaky, and then we have the T2 called the polite, and then the T3 is the normal, and then we have the T4 aggressive, and then the T5 is the highest, which is called insane. So these are the pipe levels, the speed levels at which we can run Nmap. The T0 being the lowest, and then the T5 being the highest. T0 we call the paranoid, and then the T5 is insane. All right. And also we can scan just one single host using Nmap. So instead of supplying the whole target network as the whole subnet as the target of our scan, we can just scan only a single target. Now let's scan the metasploitable machine by issuing the IP address of the metasploitable machine as our target of scan. So let me clear the terminal. Clear the terminal, and then sudo nmap, and then I will give the IP address of the metasploitable machine .24. That the 0.2.24. So okay, T5, T5 option, and then hit enter. All right, as you can see, it has given us our result back. Though we have already seen the result earlier when we scanned the whole of the network range. So this is how we go about scanning only a single IP. And just write sudo nmap nmap, and then followed by the target, and then we might decide to put the timing option. Though if we don't put the timing option, then it will use the default timing option, which is the T3. The normal is the normal. That is the normal level T3. That is the default timing option. If we don't put our own selected timing option, so it will use the default, which is T3, the normal timing option. All right. Also, using Nmap, we can scan a host name instead of an IP address. Now let's scan a host name that that is given to us freely by the Nmap scanme scanme.org, which is a host provided to us by Nmap for us to practice our Nmap scanning with. So sudo Nmap, and then I will supply the host name scanme.org. Now this will reach out over the internet and then find this host and scan it. And then I can use the T5 option also, dash T5, and then I would hit enter. Now, as I have said earlier, the scanme.org is a pre-target provided by Enema for us to practice and perfect our scanning skills. But remember, the scanning any target you do not have permission to scan is illegal. So do not make sure that any host you are scanning, you have explicit permission to scan that, else it is unethical. And here we are doing ethical hacking, so it is unethical for you to scan any host you don't have permission to scan. Okay, so the scanning has finished. It has given us the results. So we can see the host is up, and we can see the ports that are open on that particular host: SSH, SMTP, HTTP, and then we have 587, a port having the port number of 587, and that port is open, and the service that is running on that port is called submission. Alright, so this is how we can go about scanning a single host, using the host name instead of an IP address. Now, while scanning, we might decide to make use of the -b switch. Now, -b switch will result in a verbose output. So -b is called verbose, and then it will give us more output in the process of scanning the target. So let's rescan this scanme.org, but using the by adding the -b switch, which is the verbose for verbosity, and then to give us more information in the process of scanning the target. So as you can see, we are having more information as the target is being scanned. So -b is the switch for verbose output. Alright, so that is how we can make use of the -b switch for to get a verbose output. So let me clear the terminal and we proceed with our next scan. Now, using Nmap, we can scan multiple IPs, multiple IP addresses. So aside from scanning a single IP or scanning the whole network range, we might want to scan some IP addresses, say 3, 4, or 5, or many number of IP addresses. And to do so, we can enter the IP addresses separated by a space. Okay, so let me enter these IP addresses, sudo nmap, and then I will enter the IP addresses 10.0, 10.0.2.1, which is the gateway, 10.0.2.4, and then 10.0.2.5, 10.0.2.6, and using the -T5 timing option, and then I can just hit enter. Alright, so as you can see, perfect. We are able to only among the IP addresses we have given for a map to scan, only one host is up, which is the 10.0.2.1, which is the gateway. Okay, so that is how we can give a map multiple IP addresses for a map to scan for us. And also, aside from scanning multiple IPs, we can also scan a network range. Now, say I want to scan from 10.0.2.1, 10.0.2.2 up to 10.0.2.10, then I can just give it to a map as a range. So let me clear the terminal, and then now I can scan these IP ranges using by supplying them as a range to Nmap. So I'll just put a dash, and then I can write 10. So this will scan from IP address 10.0.2.1 up to 10.0.2.10. So I'll just hit enter. Alright, so perfect. So as you can see, Nmap has finished scanning for us, and these are the hosts that Nmap was able to find that are up and that particular IP address that we have given to Nmap. So we can see then 10.0.2.1 is up, 10.0.2.2 is up, and 10.0.2.3 is also off. So, and we can see the result of the scan. So let me clear the terminal and we can proceed with our next Nmap scan. Now, one of the most basic function of Nmap is to identify active host on a network. And this is referred to as a ping scan. So to run a ping scan, we just enter sudo mmap, then followed by the option -sp, and this is referred to as a ping scan. So -sp, lowercase s and capital letter P, is referred to as a ping scan, and then we give the target that we want to scan now, 10.0.2.24, which is the metasploitable machine, and then using -t5 option, and then we just hit enter. All right, so we can see that it has pinged the host, and the result of the ping scan has been returned to us. So we can see that that particular machine is up, and we have the result from Nmap scanning. Now, to run Nmap scan with service version detection, then you make use of the -sv switch, which stands for version scanning. So let's scan our metasploitable machine and using service version scanning. So I'll just replace this by V. Now this is service version scanning. This will return to us all the ports that are open on this particular machine, the state of the port, the services that are running, and then the version of the services. So I'll just hit enter. All right, so Nmap has finished scanning and we have the result, where we have the ports that are open on the ports that are on that machine, the state of the port, whether they are open, closed, or filtered, and then we have the service that is running on those ports, as well as the version of the services that are running on that port. And this is very important to us as ethical hackers, because we will know the version that of the service that is running on those ports. Perhaps that version of the service is obsolete, it's an old version, and it has a lot of vulnerabilities. So we can easily search for vulnerabilities that are associated with that version of service, and then try to exploit that vulnerability to gain access to that particular machine. We are going to see that when we proceed with our server-side attack, we are going to see how we can exploit vulnerability to gain access to a machine. So so this is one of the essence of trying to see the version of a service that is running on a particular port. We can also make use of Nmap to read the target from a text file. So instead of inputting the target over the terminal, we can have the target in a text file, and then we can make Nmap read the target from the text file. So what we are going to do now, we are going to create a very simple text file that contains the target that we want to scan, and then we can now make Nmap read from the text file and then scan those targets for us. So I'm going to create using the cat tool. I'm going to create a simple text file. So I'm going to supply the absolute path to the directory where I want that file to be stored, in home Faisal, and then desktop, which is desktop that on the desktop basically. So the name of the file, targets that's txt, and then I'll hit enter. Now I can input the IP addresses 10.0.2.1, and then I hit enter, and then 10.0.2.19, 10.0.2.19, hit enter, add the next IP 10.0.2.24, the metasploitable machine, hit enter. So I am done. So to exit, I'll just enter Ctrl+C. Now this will create a text file and then input the IP addresses that I have inputted: 10.0.2.1, 10.0.2.19, 10.0.2.24. So, and then if we navigate to the directory, cd desktop, because currently now I'm in home Faisal directory, and we can see that we're running the print working directory command home Faisal. So to just navigate to the desktop directory, I'll just enter desktop, and then I'm on the desktop and run ls command to see the files that are contained in that particular directory. So we can see the target.txt. So target.txt, we already have the Okay. Now to now make use of Nmap to scan those IP addresses that are contained within the target text file. So I'll just enter the command sudo Nmap and then followed by this switch and dash lowercase I, uppercase L, and then I'll supply the absolute path to the directory that contains my text file, which is home Faisal, and then in desktop, then we have the text file called target.txt, and then using so that speed up the process using timing of 5, which is the highest timing option, and then I will just hit enter. So as you can see, Nmap has picked up and it has quickly scanned all the IP addresses that we have been given to it in the text file result. So 10.0.2.1, we can see the service that is running on that port, and then 10.0.2.24, we can see the services that are running on that port, which is the metasploitable machine. We are not able to gain any result. 10.0.2.19, the host is up, but all the ports are closed. So this is how we can basically give a Nmap a text file for Nmap to scan for us instead of entering the IP addresses over the command line. Now, in the process of using Nmap to scan to perform our network scanning, we may wish to exclude some target from our Nmap scan. So to exclude some target from our Nmap scan, we make use of the -- exclude switch. Now say I want to perform a scan, or the scan that we just did, even though I have the 10.0.2.19, which is my metasploitable, which is my Cal Linux machine. Now I'll run the same command, but now I will tell Nmap that I don't want to scan 10.0.2.19, even though it is contained in the text file. I don't want to scan it. So now Nmap will scan the IP addresses that in that particular text file that I have given it to it. But when it comes to 10.0.2.19, it is going to skip it because I have made use of the -- exclude switch to exclude that particular IP. So I'll just hit enter. And from the result, we can see that only 2 IP addresses were scanned. The 10.0.2.19 has been excluded from my Nmap scan. Using the -- switch, we can use it to carry out operating system detection, service version detection, and script scanning and trace route. So if I want to get the result of having OS detection, service version detection, script scanning, and trace route, we make use of the -- switch. So let me clear the terminal, and then I'll run Nmap, and then I'm going to give the my 10.0.2.19 sudo Nmap. So I'm going to perform -a and then 10.0.2.24, which is our metasploitable machine, and then using -t5 timing option, t5, and then I'll just enter. Now this will proceed to carry out operating system detection, service version detections, and then use script to scan the host and also perform trace route. So basically, script scanning, what script scanning is, script scanning will utilize script via the Nmap, because Nmap comes with some script using the Nmap scripting engine to carry out the scans. So that is basically what script scanning means. It is using scripts that come alongside the Nmap, and this is made available using the Nmap scripting engine, and then it will make use of those scripts to scan the target, since we have given it -a switch. Alright, so Nmap has finished carrying out the scan, and we can see the result of the scan. We have the scan for 10.0 scan report, 10.0.2.24. We can see the ports that are open, the state of the port, and the service that is running on those port, and then the version of the port. So we can see detailed information about the port. Okay, so we can go through the result. FTF, anonymous FTF login allowed, so we can log in anonymously to the PTF file transfer protocol service that is running on that particular machine. And then we can see detailed information about the FTP server status. So that is the result of running an -a script scanning. So it will give us detailed information about the trace route, service version, and it uses the script, the Nmap script that Nmap comes with. We can even see the operating system, the version of the operating system. We can see that it is running operating system detail. It is running Linux 2.6.9.9 to 2.6.33, and network distance is just one host. It's the metasploitable host name is metasploitable.local domain, and then we can see the this host script result. So the host script result. So we can see the result that it would when as a result of running host script result, we can see the information we're able to gather from that particular metasploitable machine. So this is the result of running a map using the -a switch. Now, if we suspect that a device might be behind a firewall, a device is behind a firewall, then we can use the no ping switch. So that is the usage of the no ping switch, is when we detect that when we suspect that a device is behind a firewall. So let's run a map over the Kali machine 10.0.2.19 using the no ping switch. So no ping. This is the no ping switch, and then using the timing option of T5, and then I'll just hit enter. Okay, so we can see that the IP is up, and then but no, all the ports are closed. So this is the no ping. Is usually no ping Nmap scan is used when we suspect that a device is behind a firewall. To perform a fast scan using Nmap, we use the -f switch. Basically, what fast scan does is that it scans fewer ports than the default scan. So let's run a path scan on metasploitable machine. So sudo nmap and then -f, and then we are running it on 10.0.2.24 and using timing option of T5. Okay, so it's going to scan fewer ports than the default normal scan. So as we can see, this is the result we're able to gather from our Nmap scan using the fast scan option. To using Nmap, we can detect the type of operating system that a machine is using and the service version. The service version of the version of the services that are running on the ports of a particular machine. Though we run the script scan using the -a switch, which uses scripts and then give us the operating system version and the service version that is running on the open port on a machine. So we can, if we don't want to make use of the -a, which is the script scanning, -a switch with the script scanning, we can make use of the -o and the -sb switch to perform operating system and service version detection. So let's see how we can achieve that. So let me clear the terminal and then sudo nmap. Now the -o switch will give us, try to detect the operating system that a particular machine is running, and then the -sb will lowercase s -sb will give us the service version of the services that are running on a particular machine. So the IP that I'm giving it is 10.0.2.24, and then using the timing option of 5, and then I'll just hit enter. So Nmap has finished running, and we can see the result of the Nmap scan. We did perform operating system scan and service version scan. So we can see the services that are running on the Metasploitable machine, as well as the version of the services that are running of the Nmap on the Metasploitable machine that we scan using Nmap, and then the OS and the operating system. We try to guess the operating system that is running. It is OS is giving us as Linux. It's running Linux 2.6.x, which could be within this range, either 2.6.2.6.9 to 2.6.33. It's going to be within this range, because it couldn't give us a precise result that this is a particular version that is running, but it is giving us an approximate that's going to be within this range. And then even the host name, metasploitable.local domain, also try to guess the host name of the metasploitable machine. So this is how to perform OS detection and service version detection using the -O switch and the -SB version scanning switch. So this is just a basic Nmap scanning. There is more to Nmap than this, because a whole book has been written on Nmap, and I will give links where you can go and read further on network scanning using Nmap.